Weekly Chime training here. We have the one and only Joanna Lewkowicz. She's a owner of Boutique Home Realty, and she focuses her efforts here at Illinois, Indiana, and Florida. And today she's gonna deep dive into Chime's marketing suite and how she's utilizing Chime to maximize her listing presentations. So Joanna, please take it over. Let us know some of your skills here.
Thank you for having me over. I'm super excited to be here, and I would like to share with you how we utilize Chime to win our sellers and to win the listing presentation. Oftentimes, we are competing against other top agents. We are a boutique company, and we needed to demonstrate that we actually have all the tools and more than any other large company. And this is why Chime comes in handy. We were with another major CRM for 5.5 years. And when we started in 2017, we were promised, okay, our listing suite is coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And then 5.5 years later, when we left, this still was not happening. And we were tired of having multiple tools everywhere, because what's the point of CRM? I mean, myself, I've been more on the listing side for quite a few years, because we've all heard the good, good old saying, you got to list to last. And nice thing about listings is we are able to have more listings at the same time than the same amount of buyers. Yes, I could easily handle 20, 30 listings even with just me and my assistant and the buyer's agent, versus driving around 20, 30 buyers. Plus, a nice thing about listings, they actually, each listings usually brings us more buyers and gives us cool content to share. So this was something super important for me. And we're happy that Chime, with Chime, we're able to consolidate everything and truly give the best experience to our sellers. Because what do sellers want from listing agent? They definitely, most of us are in the shifting markets. I'm in Chicago, and this is, in some parts we are getting multiple offers. Homes are selling over asking price, but there are some areas that where we need to have conversations with sellers about price reductions, where we are starting to get the expired listings. And this is where Chime comes in handy. We're still tuning our expired smart plans, but we've been on a good track with that, and we're definitely gonna hit heavily with that, with all the automation that allows us. So before we even get to the listing appointment, a lot of things could happen. Whether the seller is our past client, but then yet we still want to stay in touch with them. We want to apply the smart plans. We want to apply the home value report. And I've also noticed that for those that don't necessarily want to go through the expense of paying for the home report, just use the market snapshot, put the sold listings instead of active. And those have high open rates because sellers, they do want to know what's going on, with their property. And whenever we see them logging in, we have an opportunity to reach out to them and offer more customized solution. As far as past clients, our buyers, that as soon as they close, they are becoming buyers/sellers. We know the house, we've seen the house, maybe we've been to their housewarming party, maybe it's somebody, because, buyers, as we work with them, we do build rapport, and oftentimes they become acquaintances. So we know their house. So it's easy to create a customized CMA. So, when things are slower, every few weeks, every few months, I should say, we will go through the effort of creating CMA And any new agents that are starting, they need practice as well. So we'll have them experiment with that. So they learn, we got the listing, we got the CMAs ready. And I actually like to use the Chime CMA because it is different. I belong to, I believe, 5 or 6 MLSs, and they all offer cloud CMA, which is a great, nice product, but the CMAs look like everybody else's. With the cloud CMA, we're able to, the template is a little different. Our MLS allows sold listings, so it's not an issue to show the sold data. It's super easy. A nice thing about it, which cloud CMA, I believe, does not offer that option. I'm able to see who actually opens the CMA. And oftentimes, we see that they go to the CMA multiple times. And this gives us an opportunity to reach out to them and see if truly indeed, they are thinking about moving, or maybe they want to take equity out and purchase investments. There's just a lot of things, you always have to think who do you want to match with what type of product? I've been in real estate since 2005, and being 20 something years old, then I've helped buyers find their first condos. Then we moved them to, single family homes. And now, 17, 18 years later, they're sitting in nice equity, and, and that also gives us option to suggest that they maybe look into investment, or they upgrade, or whatever their needs might be. So this is a cool thing. And yes, we were supposed to talk about listings, but this is how this all ties in together. We operate sort of as a team, teamage. I primarily handle the listings, but the buyer agents handle the showings, handle the buyers. And that also, helps our businesses grow. Whether somebody is, the person that wears all the hats in a solo agent, or a smaller team, they could still do all of those things. So, when we see that seller is considering selling, it's usually, unless there is something drastic that happens, it usually takes some time. Yes, I do have, I'm a junkie of notifications and the reminders on top of reminders. Other than the whiteboard with the hottest listings, we're able to see, we're able to set the reminders and put the clients into the hot group, into the hot pipeline, so that way we don't forget about it. If we do, then I'll remember about it maybe in a day or so, not a few months later, when I'm looking at the MLS and I see that this house has been listed with somebody else. So, as we are getting ready for the big events, and we warming up the clients, and even if it's our past client, we still need to win them over, because yes, maybe their neighbor's daughter got licensed and she will charge less than you will. Maybe their cousin just got licensed. Just because they were our past client, it doesn't mean that this is a given, and they will list with us. Plus, if we don't want to discount the commission, we do need to show that, hey, it takes a lot of money and effort to actually market the property to the public and to the agents. So we utilize smart plans, and we actually have them in in various languages. You might have noticed that I have an accent. And being from Chicago, we are in the area where we have people, we have clients, and we have agents from different part of the world. And this is this is also our target market, because oftentimes they will reach out to us because of the language barrier, or native language convenience that they prefer. And unfortunately, you don't have Polish plans and Polish language options yet, although I'm making that suggestions. If we took a little time to just basically Google translate them and tweak them to make sure they make sense and they suit our needs. Because when you are working or soliciting the business of somebody that is bilingual, that alone will catch their attention. I've noticed that, and when we have clients that, they are bilingual, the foreign language grabs their attention. So this is, another way to, for us to stand out. And oftentimes, we are working with parents, or elderlies that, even in this era, email address is still a foreign email address, and that actually also helps us. And, with the smart plans, we're able to set the stage for what will be happening, a lot of tips, and yes, sometimes there are situations where it's, when for one reason or another, we won't get those listings. Although I'm thinking, with all the things we do, you really have to be crazy not to go with us. But when we give sellers a lot of information, or even if it's a for sale by owner seller, that's, they did what we hinted them to do and they sold the house. But I still think, that, the karma goes a long way. And I'm sure any of us could relate to situations where we were, people that have never done business with us are our greatest source of referrals. So if you want to stay in this business for many years, you just have to factor that in as well, and not think too much about it. Sharing is caring.
Exactly. So
Yes.
how are you acquiring these sellers? Are you guys running lead generation, or do you have organic traffic, or?
We are. So we have a large database, which, by the way, was fun to move over and organize, but that's actually a great topic for another conversation. We have about 33,000 leads in our database. I've been in business since 2005, and I want to say since maybe 2017, 2016, when our team joined our own brokerage, where we became a brokerage, we got into lead generation at that time. So
That's great. I did want to jump back into your CMAs that you mentioned, and how you were looking to see if they opened those CMAs. Do you have automation, like smart plans, that then follow up with those that have opened it but not necessarily responded?
We're still working on a lot of things. We, usually when I see someone opening a CMA, I think we should give them a call, because that there is an opportunity to discuss the CMA. Hey, obviously I haven't seen your house. In the cases that I haven't, so, I might be a little bit off. I'd be happy to come over and take a look at it. So this is something, we do with evaluations, and evaluations are something that we want to do all the time. And also the sellers, the buyer leads, that we have identified that they own homes, we also want to make it easy for them to come up, to get the value of their home as well. So part of our smart plans for whoever falls under category of buyers/sellers, at some point it will be the home valuation link. So I consider those high intent, and I typically call them. And then depending on the outcome, they go into the follow-up bucket, or or the appointment bucket, depending on what's going on. Maybe they are just, maybe they're just starting to entertain that idea. Maybe, they're ready. And, the other day, I was, we were assigning older leads, and I'm talking the leads that were not even in CRM. I literally went through my phone back to like 2006, and and found some gold there clients that I haven't really, they're not my Facebook friends because they don't have Facebook, out of sight, out of mind. And we enter them to, to the system, and the AI kicked in. AI wasn't. They were a little surprised who that was, but then I was able to take over and, hey, excuse our bots, this is what we were doing, updating our database. And what's going on? We just had a closing with that individual, and they are under contract for buy. So, this is something, that's, if it wouldn't be for Chime, we wouldn't be able to acquire that client, because we,
Right.
Things wouldn't, we wouldn't have come into contact. I do think, as far as sellers leads, I mentioned the buyers who own the property, valuations, as well as expires and for sale by owners. We have a separate pond for expired and for sale by owners, where we are, we use mostly smart plans and AI to get them started, other than the calling. And this is also a good source of business, and I think we're gonna see more of that as the market is changing. And we know that most of for sale by owners, they do end up listing with agents. It's just a matter of who are they gonna list it with. Yes.
So now that you have, you're working with your leads, you have the automation set up so that they're able to follow up. You mentioned having some bilingual smart plans. I think that's excellent. Now, when you go to, acquire the client to actually list their home, can you walk us through kind of like your listing presentations that you're focusing on for your area?
Yes. What sellers are looking for is a way to show them that you are actually the person to do their job. I am showing them actually, let me put something on a screen. Just give me a second.
Excellent. Now, while you're pulling that up, your bilingual smart plans, how do you know when to apply that specific smart plan? Are you waiting for the response back from them, or are these more of just saved text messages that you have set up in that different language?
How we know it? Oftentimes it is just by looking at their name, or last name, we're able to figure out if someone there's usually, if I see especially first name, if I see a foreign first name, Polish first name, or Latin or Hispanic first name, there's a good chance they are they are speaking that language. However, I typically want to know for sure, and I will apply a tag, Polish speaking, Spanish speaking, and we actually have those clients in a group because it makes it easier for us to dial through, where I don't have to switch my brain to, from, English to Polish, from, to other language. So we typically want to know that, indeed they are, they are foreign speakers. If not, they, we've heard it a few times. Okay, I don't speak Polish, but I understand it, and then we just switch back to English,
Definitely.
but we got their attention. And it's usually not something that is perceived in a wrong way. So this is what we typically do. The tags and groups, do its job. Tag is usually how the plan gets activated.
Okay, I think that's great to utilize the groups in that manner. So
I think.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, continue.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, so I see that here we're in the listing CMA section.
Yeah.
If you kind of walk us through, what you kind of look for and how you're utilizing it.
Okay, so some of the things we are utilizing during the listing presentation, and I'll not give the whole presentation because I always go over. But the most important thing that I would like to bring up are either campaigns. We're able to show the budgets, and we're able to show sellers that, hey, this is what we're gonna do, and we're gonna run ads actually, let me move the screen over. We're gonna be running the ads in your area. We are able to show them that the leads that are engaging, we get to see who raised their hands. We call them right away. We want to bring them over. I bring the example of me getting licensed in Indiana, where I was looking for a house for myself and my family, and nobody would return our phone calls. So this is a big, this is something important to demonstrate, to remind sellers that you would be shocked, but not all agents actually respond to inquiries. And here we have the automated AI. When somebody calls from a sign, we're able to capture all calls and distribute them to the agents. I'll actually have them test it, and call our sign numbers, and they will get an instant response. For the listings that are closer to the office, just because logistically it's more tricky to do it, we utilize the text to text writers, where a buyer or person that is interested in our listing could obtain information about the listing right away. So again, here we're demonstrating that whoever, we are on the buyers as soon as they raise their hand, when they are excited about their house, that not a single buyer will go without getting their questions answered and getting information, and we will try to bring them to their house. So this is something, that's, they feel it's important. And I do think this is something, that, just because I don't have my cell phone on a signs, it helps us to capture more business. And in certain cases, we will offer a variable commission if the buyer is unrepresented, if the buyer is procured by us. If we wouldn't have that buyer, if it wouldn't be for that listings. So sellers like that idea as well. As far as other things we want to show the seller, landing pages would be an excellent tool. For instance, I'm gonna click on one of our recent listings. This is basically a dedicated website. Yes, we need to. So let me Uh, hmm, Let me log in. So, or could I click out? I guess I'm gonna just have to go around it. So this is basically a dedicated website where we have the listing information, where we have the video to show seller. Uh, this is how we are going to market your house, with nice images, with with a professional video. And this is something that they like, and other agents may not do it. Yes, there might be agents that they will tell them what they'll do, what buyers they'll bring, but we are actually able to demonstrate it. Another cool thing that I wanted to show is the social studio, that we will have a discussion with the seller. Yes, this is how often I'm gonna be posting your property. We do business in an organized manner. We could actually decide when we gonna post it, where we gonna
post it. I think you have that tab open that's in that video.
Oh, okay.
Right where my face is, I believe that tab.
Is it? Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Okay, so we are able, through Social Studio, we are able to show how often we're gonna be marketing the property. And this is something I'll be doing on our main page, but also our buyer agents. So they're gonna have a entire group of agents marketing their property, because they obviously wanna sell the property as well. So this is a common goal. Another, we are able to schedule the post through Facebook, Instagram, and any other social platforms. And as we know, this all nicely integrates any type, when the buyers are engaging, we want to capture their information, but sellers don't necessarily need to know that we do it for a variety of reasons. But oftentimes, we are able to to find the buyer, and and even if the agent if the buyer is working with another agent, we're able to get across them. We still, another great tool would be remarketing. People that are, maybe people that have interacted with the with the listing. That I use this, Amazon example. That's, you go to Amazon, look at shampoo, forget to check out, and here there is, this property following them. So, we are able to use the same concepts. Design center. There's some great Chime designs that will have fun with sellers, and we'll have them, maybe pick some of the designs together. My internet is a little slow, but also we have our own designs, and I'm able to show the coming soon listings. Yes, this is what we do for other sellers. This is what we're gonna do. What are we gonna do for you as well? And they actually want to see those visuals that's that we're able to show them, and we're able to keep it all inside of the Instagram stories. This is super easy, to have it in the system, and to show it to the sellers. Open house forms. Most of the sellers, they still want to have open houses, because they think, this is how the properties sell, unless they're concerned about privacy, or if it's an upscale listings. But I would say medium price listings, they do want to have open houses, and we want to give them that opportunity. So Chime makes it super easy to start an open house, just by literally clicking on with one click, and all of the leads will be, the sellers will know who went through their house, who came to their house, and we actually able to show it to them when we give them an update, or when we have a discussion about potential price reduction. So this comes very handy. Let me go to listings. I have created a pocket listing. We are actually in the market that allows pocket listings. Oh gosh, where do I find them? All right.
Joanna, I think we are running out of time here. I think we'd love to have you back so we can kind of deep dive a little bit further in some of these designs. I think these are great takeaways for everybody here. How you can really utilize Chime to capture those sellers.
Countless ways of doing that.
Yes. And then to be able to then follow up with them, but also showcase this back end to some of your potential sellers. And so that way you can kind of go through and show, here's how we're going to market the home. Here's these different avenues that we're going to be able to have, from the open house form to the scheduled social media posts, though you can easily show them that, hey, we're going to be sending out on this day, this day, this day, if there's other options in there, whatever like that. I think the CMA is great. So I think this was some great information that you've been sharing. Like I said, we'd love to, go a little bit further on this another time. But if you have any last, takeaways for anybody to kind of have, let them hear it.
One thing I wanted to mention is utilize the transaction part. You could apply awesome checklists that you're able to, you will remember what steps needs to be taken, and you will show seller that you will do everything in an organized manner, and they will be able, and you will not overlook anything. And this is pretty much what the pre-listing section has different tasks. The active listings under contract, so that gives them an assurance that everything will be taken care of when it will be, and they'll be able to, by looking at those checklists, they will be able to see how much we actually do for them. That this is just not putting the sign on the yard and putting the listing into MLS.
Excellent. And for those looking to get a further deep dive into the transaction management system here in Chime, next week, we're going to be hosting a call specifically regarding that. So Joanna, if you would love to join on that, you can always do that. Anybody else that wants to, stay tuned for that invite to come out. Joanna, how can people get a hold of you if they have any questions? Do you have a social channel you want to give out, or maybe an email that they can always reach out?
Yes. I think the easiest way would be to access my digital card through my domain name, JoannaLewkowicz.com, basically my first and last name, and you will be able to download our digital card with all of my social information and addresses to all offices in 3 states.
Excellent. So firstname.lastname.com. Thank you for joining us, Joanna. This information was great. And thank you everybody who was joining here on the webinar and also on our Chime page, and we'll see this later.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks.